ignited. And I'm going to be brutally honest with you. Being ignited is one of the best things that you can do for your business because people don't buy products or services. People buy your energy
Mm.
and they buy your belief. They buy, from emotion.
Yeah.
If people bought from a place of need, then there would be less shoes sold
Hmm.
and more food bought, right? So people
Mhm.
don't necessarily always buy what they have to have. They buy what they want. And
Mm.
you make them want things by your energy. And that's why it's critical that
Mm.
you stay ignited. So I have a guest here with me today. I'm going to let her introduce herself because this weekend she's going to be doing something phenomenal. And we want you to go to www.theignitedwomansummit.com to check out this weekend's information because it takes tools and resources. Do you agree with me, sis? To
Yes,
stay
I
ignited,
do.
to stay ignited with yourself. Everybody would do it, but being ignited is not a one person job.
Mm.
It takes a village to stay ignited. So welcome,
Amen.
sis. Tell
You
us
better
what you
talk
got.
about it on.
Introduce
Look,
yourself.
you on fire already. It takes a village to stay
It
ignited.
takes I'm telling it's
It takes
days.
a village.
There's days I don't feel like doing this. I often laugh
Hmm.
when entrepreneurs tell me that they don't feel like doing this or they don't feel like doing that. And so it's
Hmm.
days I show up and trust and believe.
Yeah.
I could be anywhere but here. But
Yes.
you gotta stay ignited because you're not here for the short term. You're
That's right.
here for the long haul.
That's
And
right.
for the long haul, you gotta stay ignited and you can't just get in people's face when you want something.
Hmm.
So, oh, I got a new product to sell. I'm gonna get ignited and go live. We were just talking about that.
Hmm.
How it's important that you be consistent
Yeah.
in staying in front of your audience if you want your audience to be consistent in making purchases from you.
That's right. So, firstly, I'm Latalia Palmer. Thank you so much for having me on the platform, and thank you for saying yes to being our keynote speaker this weekend, igniting our generational wealth. And I have a connection to that I'll come back to. But this weekend we're going to be igniting our personal power so that we can show up live in our business, in our relationships, in our finances. And if we don't tap into our personal power, we wither away, our spirit dies. And so we can be in the forefront of our business, but the emotional and spiritual aspect of us is in the back of the room, and we're holding on by a thread, trying to grind and trying to make it happen. So
And
staying
believe it or not,
ignited.
Natalia, that has there's a direct correlation between your energy and ability to be ignited and stay ignited. And thank you guys for joining. Marnie, Joanne, thanks for sharing. D Morris, thanks for sharing. Marnie, thank you for starting a watch party. Berlin, thanks for starting a watch party. There is a direct correlation
Mm,
between your ability to stay ignited and your profits
mm,
because nobody wants to buy from
mm.
somebody that's in the same situation as them.
Wow.
Girl, if you uninspired and I'm
Yeah.
uninspired, why am I gonna follow you and you just as uninspired as I am? So it not only impacts your profit, it impacts your life. But why
Mhm.
do it if you're not gonna do it big?
That's right.
Why
That's right.
even why even do it?
That's right. And so igniting your vision, your bigger vision. And what is that for you? Because if you don't have the vision, you can't move forward. You're not drawn or compelled to anything to keep you motivated and moving forward. You've forgotten your why. You haven't identified your why. And if you don't know why you're doing it, then you're not ignited. Your why
Absolutely.
ignites you.
Absolutely. The amazing thing, and I just released a vision journal today
Mm,
that keeps you in the forefront of your vision. It's a
mm,
12-month vision journal that every month it makes you come back to the core of why you do what you do. Because
yes.
people think that, oh, I can just, have this picture of the vision. I'm gonna be able to go straight there. But then
Mm-mm.
life,
Don't work like
so
that.
I'm on my road and then life. And
Mm,
then I get back on the road and then life. And then I'm
yes.
I'm I'm trying my best, but then life. And so if you don't have something in writing and the word is crystal clear about writing a vision,
That's right.
it's crystal clear about writing a
Making
vision.
it plain.
You don't have that marker to go back to.
Yes.
And then 2, being able to measure, are we asking for enough? And I tell people all the time, don't be mad if you get that $5 worth of gas money you asked for, and I get 5 million. You ask for $5, I ask for 5 million. We both got what we asked for.
Yes.
So we all have the capability of asking. And guys, again, I want to make sure you go to www.theignitedwomansummit.com. The link is actually in the title. Make sure you go there and register. Go ahead and get your VIP access for this weekend. I told you I'm the keynote girl. Y'all gonna be in there swinging from the chandeliers.
Listen, so let me tell you, I'm already swinging, okay? Because when I saw it come across generational wealth, it made me think about coming from generational welfare, right? I came from generational welfare, and there's a group of people who have mastered generational welfare, right? And so that's what was passed down to me, right?
Unfortunately, for lack of knowing, because see, I used to be critical of people in welfare. Then I realized this: the system only teaches you this.
Bingo. The education is not there. And so on my 18th birthday, my mother took me to her caseworker and said, here's your caseworker. She is now handling your case. And I got my food stamps, I got my Medicaid card, and I got my little cash assistance, right? But 2 years later, when I walked in there with my daughter and they wanted to know why my daughter was with me and not with her father, I knew that it was time for me to leave. And I walked out of there without a job. All I had was a little voice in my head that said, you have work to do. And from that point, I struggled to make it without welfare because that's all I knew. But what else I knew was that if I could work hard to be on welfare, because you got to recertify, you got to show your life to be on welfare, right?
There's no lazy women.
Honey, listen, talk about
it. You got inspections.
That's right.
You got to make sure they don't find no mints living in your house. So it's stuff you got to do.
It's work.
In order to be on welfare. Absolutely.
We could put that same effort into generational wealth. It's just shifting the mindset. And so my excitement came because you're out here teaching people how to shift that mindset. And if we can put the effort into struggling and staying broke, we can put the effort into being wealthy.
Now, sis, have you wrote that book, From Generational Welfare to Generational Wealth?
I have not.
What you waiting on, for somebody else to write it?
No, ma'am, I'm not.
You must be. You must be.
No, I'm not. It actually did not click to write the book.
We live now. You never know who's listening now.
Yes.
Ain't no sign-in sheet.
Yes. It didn't click to write the book until you asked me. Yeah. Yeah. So okay. That's why it pays to have a coach.
Absolutely. and multitudes, the word says a bevy of wise counsel. It didn't just say one wise counsel. I keep a coach for everything I need, because they say if you want to go, you're right. You want to go, get going. But if you want to go fast, you need to hire a coach. But guys, even events like this, when you pay for VIP access, that's tax deductible. This is, for all intents and purposes, a business event.
Yes.
Because if it's something that's going to help your business grow and prosper, and your mindset is it's by all intents and purposes the catalyst.
That's right.
For your growth. It is the spark that ignites you. And unfortunately, if you don't have that spark, if you have the spark, you'll find a way. One of my clients, Bridget, say, write the book. All my clients know that's step number 1 with me. You got to learn how to write those books, because those books become, the platform for other brands and other product launches. But you got to write those books. But at the end of the day, they always said, if there's a will, there's a way.
There's a way. That's what my grandma always told me. If there's a will, there's a way.
And instead of sitting around and waiting on your abundance to be dropped off at your doorstep, when you're persistent and consistent, abundance can't help but find you.
Yes.
Persistent and consistent. You have to be.
And one of the things, Coach, on the lines of consistency and persistency, I share my breast cancer battle and what it was like to lose my vibrance and lose my energy as a result of taking chemotherapy. But I knew that it wasn't over. And I knew that if God gave me the opportunity, that I had to remain consistent in rebuilding myself so that I could get to a point to support others in igniting that flame. And this weekend is a testament to that.
You know, sis, you just said a word. You know, I think sometimes we forget how good we got it.
Mm. Mm.
If you're listening, say me. Because sometimes I think we really do forget
Yeah.
just how good we have it. And we squander our time and we
Girl.
waste our energy and we throw away our ideas and we look up. And now, when we're in a position where we can't do,
That's right.
all of the ideas, come on now, they come running
Yes.
back to you. All of the times where you could have been on the go. People tell me all the time, they say, Coach, why do you work so hard? Why do you work so much? And I tell them all the time, girl, I slept for 40 years. For 40 years, I slept on what I could have had.
Wow.
For 40 years, I took what was available instead of taking advantage of the abundance. For 40 years, I planted other people's crops and made millions of dollars. And so now when it's time for me to work my land, how dare I get tired now? How dare I get sleepy now? How dare I rest now? I wasn't resting when I worked for them people.
That's right.
I wasn't resting when I was working for them people. And them folks wanted me there at 5 a.m. And I live in a major city. And people know if you live in West Houston, you got to start early.
In the morning.
Where you going? Because the traffic is crazy.
Yeah.
But if they wanted me in the building at my desk at 5 a.m. with 3 small kids, that means by 3:30 we had to be leaving our house.
Yes.
If I could do it for them,
I can do it for me.
And that's what we got to stop doing, is giving our power over to everybody else. And then wondering why our bank accounts look the way they look, because you're not doing the work in the place where you get direct deposit. You're doing the work in the place where you the middleman. And they take what they want off the top and give you whatever they feel like you deserve.
Not even what you're worth, what they feel like you're worth.
What they feel like you were. But then we have the nerve, the audacity. Y'all better go get y'all tickets, www.theignitedwomansummit.com. Then we have the nerve to even compare what they feel like we're worth with our own value and our own worth, and the two don't measure up.
Ooh.
The two don't measure up. So I'll tell you now, when you're in that place, once you start valuing yourself more, valuing your gifts more, valuing what God gave you more, it will turn into more. Not a moment before.
And trust in those gifts. And trust in those gifts.
And you know, I always give the analogy of having a farm. Because, you know, we always pray the prayer that Jabez, we always say, you know, Lord, you know, enlarge my territory. So when we ask for him to enlarge our territory, we don't realize that there's an investment that we have to make that comes along with having a larger property. And if you haven't shared this broadcast, guys, make sure you share the broadcast, because somebody somewhere needs to hear this, right? Just hashtag share it in the chat once you share it. So if I say, Lord, take this acre and give me 2, and the Lord sees fit to give me 2 acres, that means, guess what I got to do? I got to buy more seeds, because the same amount of seeds that I use to plant 1 acre, I can't take them same amount of seeds and plant it on 2 acres and get more crop. I'm going to get the same amount of crop. So I got to plant, I got to get more seeds. Guess what else I got to do? Now I can't just water this 1 acre. I got to get me a better irrigation system. So now I got to water 2 acres instead of 1. I got to get more pest control, because now it's double the bugs. I got to get more weed control, because now it's double the acreage. And when it comes time for me to have a harvest, I got to hire people to help me get the crops up off the ground. I need better machinery to wash the harvest. I need trucks to take my stuff to
Mm,
market. See, when you don't invest
mm, mm.
in the tools you need
Yes.
to take care of the more land
Mm,
that your father gives you, you end up either with harvest out there on the ground rotting,
hmm,
or you end up getting the market late when nobody needs it now. I
mm.
was talking to my daughter earlier, girl, her and her girlfriends. You got to respect them because they further along in their thought process,
Yep.
but they always calling me with some harebrained scheme, right? They always calling me with some, mama, we thinking about doing this idea right here.
Mhm.
And which is a good thing because at the end of the day, I think that it's important that we always be on the lookout for our abundance. I tell people that all the time.
Mm,
Don't, every morning you wake up, you should have a bolo out for your abundance. Let's be on the lookout, right?
mm,
So they called me with this idea, and I said, great idea, but you late
mm.
because that market is saturated. Great
Ah,
idea, but where were you, 3 months ago? I said, in March, y'all should have been running around with sewing machines making masks. Because these people done sit out here with a sewing machine and made a ton of money just making masks.
yeah.
So I told them there is a time and a place, and the Bible is very specific about time and place. There's
Mm,
a time and place for everything.
mm.
And sometimes we have the idea, but we don't move and act on it. And because we don't move and act on it, we're out of time.
Mm,
So don't get out of time with your idea. You wonder
mm.
why is this not working for me, Lord? Because I gave you that idea 6 months ago.
Wow.
And you want to blame God. God, I used to have grace on this job. Now I don't have grace anymore. Well, you had grace when it was your season to be there.
Mm,
Your grace has moved to
yeah.
another place, and you
Wow.
got moved with your grace.
Wow.
So it's a lot we have to do as women to stay ignited.
Yes.
We have a lot of things on our plate that may take precedence if we're not deliberate. We
Mm-hmm.
are the world's caretakers. I think they said something like 85% of women either care for their children or their parents.
Mm.
Yet and
It's
still,
a
we
huge
only have
load.
10% of the world's wealth and 1% of the world's land. So why is it that the caregivers
Mm.
are the ones with the least amount of revenue? Because we're so busy caring for other people
Other people. Yeah.
that we can't care for our profits.
Mm.
We're so busy caring, and that includes the people that you giving life preservers to, the people that you giving your life rafts to, the people that
Mm-hmm.
ain't even asked you to save them, that you over
Yes.
there trying to save. Come on now, stop trying to save
We
everybody.
we got to plug back into ourselves.
We have to.
Yeah, and a lot of times people mistake that for being, well, you know what? It's okay to be selfish. Some people think that it's something wrong with being selfish.
No, let me tell you what it is. The people that's gonna call you selfish is the same people that wouldn't do it for you if the shoes on the other foot.
All
Let's
right.
just not be honest now. Is it being selfish or is it self care?
It's self-care.
Is it self survival?
Mm.
Is it self preservation?
Hmm.
Sometimes we as women have to learn how to be a little bit selfish.
Yeah. And we have to
And
learn
be
how,
about
we have to
yourself.
teach ourselves how to take care of ourselves because many of us
Absolutely.
have never learned.
Yeah, because your 60-year-old self, she
Mm.
gonna need some help. And your 70-year-old self,
Yes.
gonna need some help. And when you take from your 30 and your 40-year-old self,
Mm.
that's who you stealing from. You
Mm.
may think that, oh well, I'll make it up, but how much more can you make up?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I draw the line with women when it comes to making a profit.
Mm.
There's no excuse you can tell me that is gonna free me from holding you accountable
Mm.
for making your money. And a lot of it,
Yes.
let me tell you, I was at a conference one time
Mm-hmm.
and he said that all women need to act like middle-aged, mediocre white men. That means I don't care how good I am at it. I want to get paid.
Ah.
I deserve to be paid.
Ah.
Yeah, I may not be the best, but pay me.
Mm.
We're so busy
Got
trying to
it.
make things perfect, not
Yeah.
realizing it's a whole multi-billion-dollar economy out here based on imperfections. You got iPhones selling at $1,000.
Mm.
They got bugs, every single one of them. Every time they launch, they're gonna tell you, well, this is to fix that bug.
Yeah.
Update your phone to
We're
fix this
updating
bug.
every night. Mm-hmm.
They
Mm-hmm.
got them PlayStation 5s selling out.
Yeah.
We don't even know how they're gonna work.
Right.
So
Right.
while we sitting up here trying to make whatever we have perfect,
Mm.
all the while the world all around us is making money.
Mm.
So we've got to persist in our imperfections
Yes.
and get the job done regardless
That's right. Own it, claim it, and move in it.
and charge for it.
And charge for it.
And charge for it.
Mm.
Yeah. We all need a lesson in making money. That was the most valuable lesson I've ever learned. Two of the most valuable lessons I've ever learned. Number one is the currency of collaboration and relationships.
Mm.
Understanding that as long as you got relationships, you got currency. As long as you got the right relationships, as long as you sow seed in good ground, you
Mm.
got currency. Number two is that there's a direct correlation between the number of people you help and the money you make, period.
Love it.
So your goal to help more people is so that you can make more money so that you can help more people.
That's right.
Bottom line. So guys, if you haven't already gone to www.ignitedwomenstelecsummit.com to grab your tickets for this weekend. For this week, matter of fact, when we start tomorrow,
It starts tomorrow at 5 p.m. EST. We end at 8 tomorrow. We start again Saturday morning at 10 a.m.
yeah, absolutely, Bridget. The right relationships, and you know it's unfortunate, but sometimes you have to actually do an inventory
Mm.
of who's around you
Yes.
and are they the right person for your next level.
Mm.
Sometimes people could be the right person for this level,
Yeah.
but sometimes you may need more for that next level, and it's
And
okay.
that's all right.
And they may not accept it as being okay, but you got to do what you got to do.
That's right.
There's this book I'm reading called Whatever It Takes,
Mm.
and it talks about taking the emotions. Thank you, Marnie, for registering. Guys, if you register, make sure you put me in the chat. If you register for VIP, make sure you put VIP in the chat. But it talks about how it's so important that we remove some of the emotion out of business and not be so emotional. You're either making money or you're not.
Mm.
You're either helping me move to my next level or
Oh,
you're
you're
not.
not.
It has less to do with do I like you and
Yeah.
more to do with is this lucrative?
Mm.
Somebody I can follow to seven figures and beyond. And my
Mm.
clients know that's the only measure
Yes.
I have. So how are we gonna get it today? And when I move, they move just like
Mm.
that
Mm.
because there's always opportunity out there that's available for you to generate seven figures. Why ask for anything else
Mm.
if you got to do the work anyway?
Why not go grand?
Why would you not?
Yeah.
You want to see my book cover, girl?
Of course.
Show you my vision around here somewhere.
And you said you launched it today?
I did. Girl, sometimes you have so much stuff, girl, open
Yeah,
on
my
your.
laptop told me that I had a website open that was sucking the energy, the battery energy. I was like, well, that's new.
It's not, girl. My little computer be over here huffing and puffing. This is Black Girl Vision.
Hey,
And
let's
it is
go.
7 steps to bringing your vision to fruition. It is a 12-month vision journal. It comes with a video with it
Mm,
that guides you through really planning your vision every single month.
mm,
Let me see the difference between the people that have and the people that don't. The people that don't plan their vision every month.
mm,
Every month you need to go back to the drawing board and ask yourself, is my vision big enough?
mm.
Have I asked God to bless this vision?
Come on
Have
now.
I sown the proper seed? Have I gotten wise counsel? Have
Yeah.
I have I done the work
Mm,
that would make this vision come to fruition? Have I really stretched the boundaries of what this could be? And being honest with yourself about the answers. What
mm,
could you do more of? Where could you sow more seed? Where did you fall off? And
mm.
that monthly creating a habit of holding yourself
Yeah.
accountable, because clients always ask me, they say, well, coach, if I hire you, you're gonna hold me accountable for making money. I said, oh, I'm I'm gonna show you what to do. Your bank account. Your
Yes.
bank account is gonna hold you accountable.
That's right.
When you get tired of calling your bank account
Hmm,
and your phone call is over in 2 seconds because
hmm,
they say your balance is $5, goodbye.
hmm.
When you get tired of doing that, you'll
Yeah.
do something different. And what you do is reflective in your bank account. Thank you, Desiree, for sharing. I appreciate you. Thank you, Marnie, for the applause. I appreciate that. So at some point, when you want more,
Mm,
you'll do more. When you want different,
yes.
you'll do different. And you got to understand that you and you alone is
Mm.
the difference between what you have and what you don't have.
I love that. You and you alone are the
You and you by
difference.
yourself. It ain't your enemies, it's your enemy. Why
Yes.
you over there? Thank you, Bridget, for registering. Why you over there counting your haters? I'm over here counting my money because I got to the point that I just don't care. I don't have the capacity to worry about what you got to say about me and what God got to say about me at the
Mm,
same time. I don't
mm,
have it.
mm.
So at some point, I either lost focus on what he's saying
Right.
because you so busy in my ear. I can't listen to what I'm saying about myself because
Right.
you so busy in my ear. At some point, you just gotta say, one of us gotta go.
You got to declutter. That's
I
right.
can't go, and Lord can't go.
That's right.
So you just gotta watch who you have conversations with.
Mm,
You gotta watch who you just tell your ideas to.
mm.
You gotta be on guard.
And that one there, watching who you tell your ideas to, because you don't know who you're presenting your gems in front of and how they're going to try to tear you or
Girl,
them
what I
down.
tell you a minute ago,
Hmm.
when I asked you, had you wrote that book, now Desiree, I told now Desiree, now that was the truth. Now Desiree, it's not your enemies. But when I asked you, had you wrote that book?
Yeah.
Yeah, because people are, and let me tell you something. What I never mind. I don't care if people steal from me because God download so much stuff in me. I learned a long time ago
Hmm.
that if the best you can do is still for me much content as I got, many workshops I launched, many books as I wrote, baby, you ain't gonna get that far with it.
That's right.
By the time you get it published, I done wrote 8 more.
Come
So
on
at the end of the
now.
day, you can't steal what's mine. You
Yes.
guys gotta make sure you understand the only person picking your pocket is you. The only
Mm,
person stealing from you is you. When you go out to eat and you ain't got no coach, you stealing. When you
mm,
out here buying these big fancy shoes and fancy purses and you ain't got nobody helping you with your business,
mm,
stealing. When you out
mm.
here focused on what you got to wear and how you wear your hair and
Yeah.
your business ain't making no money, you stealing. The only person stealing from your legacy, from your generational wealth, from your ability to generate revenue is you. We live in a society where the government got the nerve to say, whatever you spend on your business, you can write it off on your taxes. How dare you not leverage? And you got people coming from other countries.
Yes.
Saying, you mean to tell me that if I spend $100,000 on my business, I can get $100,000 back? And your government says yes, and you had the nerve to open your mouth and say, I can't afford lighting and cameras. I can't afford video. I can't afford production teams. I can't afford makeup. I can't afford technology. I can't afford a coach. No. You better stop.
There's no excuse.
There is, but none of them are valid. It's a bunch of excuses. I've come up with 10, 12, 15. It's a whole bunch of them. As individual as we are, that's how many excuses we come up with. But at the end of the day, it's not going to make a difference. The excuses are not going to make a difference. What you could, what you couldn't do, not going to make a difference. So I appreciate this conversation because it made me even think of some things that I could do to ignite myself. But you got to remember, at the end of the day, it's nobody's job to get this done but yours.
But yours.
You can hire 1,000 coaches, but they're not going to do the work for you.
And that's what I had to learn very early on, because I had to shift from that victim mode and take ownership of my life. I had to take ownership of my success. And it was a waste of money to have people supporting me to get where I wanted to go, and I wasn't willing to put the work in for myself.
Some people think that that's the substitute for the work, but it's not.
No, not at all.
There's nothing that substitutes for the work but the work.
Yeah, that's it.
And you got a choice. You're either going to do it for them or you're going to do it for yourself. That's it. And I marvel at business owners who don't spend but 8, 9, 10 hours a week in their business. But when you had a job, you spent 40, 50, 60. And I always said to myself, if I ever get free, I promise I'm not going to spend more time in a business than I do in mine. Why would I work 7 days a week for you and not do it for myself? I get all of this.
Yeah.
I only got some of that.
Yeah.
I can leave this to my kids. If something happened to me on a job, that's it. That's all. They bring Bob from another department in.
That's right. And the work will keep getting done.
So we gotta stop being so loyal to things that are not loyal to us.
Ooh.
I gotta shut up while I can get my speech together for Saturday.
All right.
So like
come on, Coach.
I gotta get creative.
Woo.
I gotta do something new. So if you've not already registered, exactly, Terrell. Let me tell you something, guys.
What Terrell say?
You are right. I spent all them years at the company and cheat yourself. We got misplaced loyalty. It's not our fault. We were raised in a generation where you worked at the railroad all your life. The railroad gave you a pension. The railroad gave you a gold watch when you retired. And that, as far as African Americans, was the best that you could expect at that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So these jobs nowadays will cut you before the ink dry on the stock market.
Talk about it.
Let them lose $1 and 1,000 of y'all gotta go.
Yeah.
You could have worked for them forever in 60 days and they don't care. So at some point, if you don't start being loyal to yourself, your family, your bills, then you're gonna suffer the impacts of jobs that's not loyal to you. And it's the truth. You know, people, and we have a Stockholm syndrome to a certain extent when it comes to job. We done fell in love with our captor, but see, that's just a protective mechanism that you love your job because you know you ain't got no choice but to do it.
Mm.
But now you got choices.
Mm.
You got choices. You better get rid of them before they get rid of you.
Mm.
And I learned that the easy way. I say I learned that the easy way because I saw them get rid of too many people.
Yeah.
I said I won't wait on you. I won't wait on that hatchet to swing for me.
Mm. I'm gonna go on and bet on myself.
Hello, you better.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Morning said time to be there for me. So guys,
Yes,
if you've
that's
already
smart.
registered at www.theignitedwomanstellarsummit.com, get your ticket. I'm the keynote speaker on Saturday, but they kick off tomorrow at 5
5 o'clock.
p.m. Eastern Standard. Girl, I listen. I'll keep up. It's time for you to be there for yourself. I remember Miss Berlin said the other day, she said, be your own first responder.
Mm.
Be your own essential worker. Be
Yes.
your own everything. Stop waiting on a man to bring you a box of happiness. A
Mm.
box of happiness is not going to get delivered to
Mm.
your front porch. There's no box of happiness waiting on you at your job.
Mm.
At the end of the day, you got to say, these are the things I need to better myself, to make myself better, to make myself happy. And you got to go do those things because you better trust and believe.
Mm.
Your man gonna do what make him happy.
Mm.
I always marvel at men.
They do not blink. Okay?
To do what makes them happy.
They're gonna do what makes them happy without a blink
So
of an
you
eye,
might be
without
over
a
here
question.
sacrificing and scrimping and this and that,
Yes.
and that thought don't cross his mind.
Yes. They're not wired the same way we are.
They not, but you know what? You can just like you can rewire a house.
That's right. We
You
can
rewire
learn from them. Mm-hmm.
You gotta start doing something different if you want different results.
That's right.
And if not, just stop lying and complaining about it.
Mm. And accept it.
All right, guys, you better grab your ticket now. www.theignitedwoman's Summit, the Ignited Woman Summit.
Yep.
.com. I'm gonna get it right. Link is in the title, so don't hesitate to join. Text 2 or 3 of your girlfriends. Make this an event. Tell them, come on, let's join, and then let's meet up after the fact and talk about it. It doesn't have to be something you come to by yourself, because I know iron sharpens iron.
Yes.
And fire ignites fire.
Yes.
You get in a good group of individuals in a good community.
Yes.
When you're ignited, I'm not. When I'm ignited, you're not. But the flame,
yes,
flame never goes out because we power each other and we keep each other lit.
Amen. Thank you, sis.
All right.
I am honored and excited, and I'll see you Saturday.
I'm gonna see you guys Saturday. Love you guys.